Dr. Saumya Gautam, thank you so much for joining us on the Get Real show. So let's get to the most intricate questions that we were looking at posing towards you. Is that what is your thoughts on COVID-19?
Hi everyone, I am Dr. Saumya Gautam, a medical doctor from Cape Town, South Africa. Thank you so much for having me on Get Real show. About COVID-19, my thoughts are, I think it's really a very serious issue worldwide. This pandemic, it's spreading very fast and changing so many people's lives. But I think this is a high time where we have to stay strong because together we can fight with this pandemic.
What precautions are you taking as a frontline worker to safeguard yourself against COVID-19?
Being a doctor in the front line, we are at highest risk during this pandemic. So we have to make sure that we're taking a very high precaution. We wash our hands often, use our face mask every time when we're going out of home or when we are at hospital. We maintaining a physical distancing or social distancing of about 1 meter. And we make sure that we use a different hospital scrubs when we are working at hospital, which we don't bring it to the home.
Soumya, if you had to change one thing in SA at the moment whilst we're experiencing this pandemic, what would it be?
If I would like to change one thing in South Africa, I would like to change the mindset of the people. I would like to encourage people to have more positive mindset and positive attitude towards this pandemic and follow the rules and instructions made by this government.
Finally, before we let you go, could you kindly provide us with a motivational message to our Glow TV viewers?
I believe that we all are in this together, and this is a high time where we have to stay strong. As being a doctor, as being a human being, this is my humble request to everyone. Please make sure that you follow the rules, wear the mask, wash your hands, don't go out of the home if it is not necessary. Maintain physical distancing because we have to fight against this pandemic, and once we will unite together, that is the only way where we can win over the situation.
Thank you so much, Soumya, for joining us on the Get Real show. We will surely have you much more quicker than you think on our screens. So thank you so much for joining me on the Get Real show. Join me next week when we bring you the latest when it comes to COVID-19 together with some of your favorite celebrities. My name is Denver Naika, and this is Get Real only on Glow TV. Our next guest is a plastic reconstructive surgeon registrar practicing in Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town. He's a medical expert and is the frontline worker. Let's get some of his thoughts on this COVID-19. We speak to Dr. Siddharth Gautam from Cape Town. Dr. Siddharth, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Cape Town. So let's start with our first question to you is why did you decide to become a doctor?
Hi Denver, thank you for having me on your show and it's great to be here again. So why did I become a doctor? There's many reasons to that question, but I think one of the biggest reasons and inspiration for me was in my own family, especially looking at my dad. My dad is a doctor as well, and I've seen him for years working with patients, treating patients, taking away their pain, suffering, and to see how these patients are so satisfied, so happy once they get treated by a doctor, and especially when you take away their pain. So that was very motivating to see, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I decided to be a doctor. And secondly, I think one of the other biggest reasons that I always wanted to be like a surgeon, and I always wanted to work with my hands and save people's lives. So I thought that would be one of the best careers to go ahead, and that is the reason why I became a doctor.
Where did you qualify to become a doctor?
So I did my medical training, my undergraduate training at the University of Stellenbosch, which is in the Western Cape in Cape Town. That was 6 years. I did my internship, I did my community service here after that, of course, and I did some few years in training as a general surgeon. Eventually, I got selected or accepted into plastic and reconstructive surgery, which was always my dream and my passion to follow. So I'm currently specializing in that discipline.
With those questions out of the way, I feel like an investigative journalist, but it brings me to my main question. What are your thoughts on COVID-19?
So COVID-19 has spread around the whole world, affecting all the economies, everybody's health, of course. So it's shaken everything of society. It is a disease entity that a lot of healthcare workers have not come across. It is something that I have not studied before in my career and my training. So this is all new to us. So it will be interesting to see how the world recovers from this and how things move on after this disease is completely eradicated.
Do you foresee the world and South Africa overcoming this pandemic?
Of course, the world and South Africa will recover eventually from this pandemic. As I said, this pandemic has struck the world very quickly, very fast and unexpectedly. But there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. It's just going to take some time. As I said, coronavirus is not going to go away in a day. It's going to take a few months, maybe the rest of 2020. But eventually, there will be light at the end of the tunnel and we will recover both the world and our country.
As a medical doctor and a frontline worker, how do you handle these cases?
Of course, as health workers, as healthcare workers, we are on the front line. We are there to look after everyone. It's our responsibility to look after the public, after our patients, after the rest of the world. So yes, we do have a fear that we do put ourselves at risk, being the highest risk, as being the frontline workers. But we need to look after the people. It is us that's going to stop the curve of the disease, and we need the support of everyone behind us.
Has South Africa reached its peak, Dr. Siddharth?
With regards to the peak, reaching the peak in South Africa, it's difficult to say at this point. The number of cases, positive cases are rising and the deaths are rising, so it's not coming down anytime soon. I'm hoping that the way the government has put in regulations and rules about the lockdown and with all the levels, this will help to curb the disease and not get to such a point that we reach a peak that is similar to what the other countries in the other parts of the world have experienced. So at this point, it's difficult to say.
And finally, before we let you go, could you kindly leave us with some motivational words to our Glow TV viewers?
So my thoughts to everyone out there, be positive. Number one, have a positive mindset. That will be the most important thing in the fight against this pandemic. Of course, wash your hands regularly, use hand sanitizer, maintain social distancing of a meter, and always wear a face mask when you leave your home. We, every day as health workers, put ourselves in the front line to protect you and to protect the public and to protect this country. So please, we ask you, stay at home. Only come out of the house if it's necessary. This is a critical time in South Africa and we need to stand together in unity and support each other. And always we need to follow the rules of the government and the regulations that have been put forward. There's a reason why the government has done that. Respect it, respect your fellow neighbor, respect your fellow person, and let's fight this together and we will overcome it.
Thank you. That was Dr. Siddharth Gautam, all the way from Cape Town, Tygerberg Hospital.